Okay, today I want to talk about prototypes. You see, I love building prototypes, but not everybody knows how to build prototypes, and they can be extremely expensive. So I want to show you during this video all the different ideas that I licensed with some of the prototypes I built. And sometimes they were just sketches, sometimes they're made out of paper, sometimes I cannibalized ideas, sometimes I use a 3D model. I'm going to show you all the different type of things you can do to show how your idea would look, how to bring it to life. And sometimes you don't need any of this stuff. So, all right, let's go. First thing, when I first started out, I would just show company sketches because I realized I had a lot of ideas, and if I had to build a prototype for every idea, I would go broke. So I would just show companies sketches. And the first sketch James is going to show you here is a sketch of a product I called Food Flight. And this was a lunch bag for kids that would fold up and you could throw it as a frisbee. And I called it Food Flight. And James is going to show you the illustration, of course, and also what it looked like when it came in production, when it became real. Another one of my sketches, I loved making puppets and soft plush toys. So I had this idea for a line of fast food puppets. And I love that idea. And of course, you can see the sketch here. And from that sketch, this is what they look like when they went in production. But I licensed two of those ideas with just a sketch. So it was really kind of simple. It was really easy to do. Now, also realize that I love paper. And I licensed a lot of ideas that were just basically made out of paper. And one of the ideas was this fun way to kind of play with a cup. You know, I loved cups. I went down to McDonald's and I looked at all the cups. And I thought, geez, what can I do with the cups? So I came up with this idea called mix and match. And James, please put that mix and match cup prototype of Mickey Mouse up there. And with that paper prototype, I was able to license it to a company that was selling cups and canteens at all the Disney stores and theme parks around the world. And you can see what that sample looks like up there too. Another idea that I built out of paper was called, I think they called them Cool Pals. And I made a little paper sample. I put it in my freezer to show what this thing would look like. And a company loved it. They took a vinyl, little action characters, and put blue ice up there, and they brought it to market. It was called Cool Pals. And that was licensed just with a paper prototype and a photograph. So pretty simple. One of the other things I like to do I would take a product, I would cannibalize it, take an existing product, go down to the store, rip it apart and change it, and then I would send it to a company. And one of my most successful products that I licensed was called the Michael Jordan wall ball. And you could see, James put it up there, that ugly prototype that I actually took the product from Ohio Art. They had a little indoor North basketball game, took it, ripped off the graphics and put a poster of Michael Jordan on the back, sent it to Ohio Art. And they licensed it and sold the Michael Jordan wall ball. James is going to show you that too for about 10 years. It even had a TV commercial.
Go one-on-one with Michael Jordan right in your own room with Michael Jordan wall ball. Best looking backboard I ever seen. Michael Jordan wall ball from Ohio Art Sports.
I also cannibalized these little, I took a marker, a pen, and I cannibalized it and I made it rotate. And I called it the storybook pen and pencil sharpener or whatever. And sure enough, a company loved that. And from that photograph of something I cannibalized, and I would send them a sample. Of course, I made a prototype. They licensed it and they called it the storybook pen and pencil sharpener. And you can see that too. Okay. What we like to, before I get into the 3D, I've also licensed ideas with just a one-line description. And this particular product was licensed to a company called Applause for Valentine's. They were looking for Valentine's ideas, and I just wrote this one-line description. It was a plastic arrow with a suction cup with little messages such as, "I'm stuck on you." And I called them sweet darts. and they loved it, and they took it and they licensed it from me with just a one-line description, and you can see what the product looks like up there as well. Okay, now today we do things a little bit different. You can still build prototypes just like I showed you, out of paper, maybe a drawing, maybe you cannibalize something. But today at InventRight, we create 3D computer-generated renderings. And you could take an ugly sketch on a napkin. If you cannot even draw, we have designers making these 3D computers renderings that look real, like you want to buy them. James, please put a bunch of those up there so people can see those. They are truly remarkable. So if you can't build a prototype, it doesn't really matter, no problem. You can have something like this created. We do these for students all the time, and they really look wonderful. Now, I also want to talk about another prototype and another product that's on the market now from one of our students. Mike came up with this great product called the Push and Hang. I use it all the time. It really works great. And when I was talking about that on one of our Q&A's, question and answer time on LinkedIn, he sent me the prototype. So please take a look at it. It's made out of wood. Look how rough that prototype was, and he was able to eventually develop it a little bit further and license it, and now he's selling out on QVC just about everywhere. So anyway, thank you for watching this video. Realize this, you have to budget correctly, realize that maybe you don't have all the skills, but if you need to find a way of bringing those ideas to life, and sometimes you need prototypes, sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. It all depends on the industry. So hopefully this little video helped to show you the full range of things that are licensed with a prototype, without a prototype, a paper prototype, and even a sketch on a napkin. So thank you for watching. This is Stephen Key.